Good morning, students. You are familiar with the meaning of history and why we study history. In today's lecture, we are going to do many other part of history. Before we start to study the history, I must explain the time period which is considered in the history. The two main period we consider in the history, first is BC means before Christ, AD means Anno Domini period. What do you mean by these periods? Means Gregorian calendar which we are following means January, February, like these. This is Gregorian calendar, and Gregorian calendar is based on the Christ's birth. Gregorian calendar believes when Christ's birth, that was the first day or first date also. So that is the divider or turning point in the history. Means Christian era or Christ's birth is considered as the beginning of the calendar. As you are looking on the screen, where Christians or Christ's birth is showing, that is the zero mark. After that we have started to count the days, and we started to calendar, that is Gregorian calendar. And but before this people were living, of course many rulers were also, so that period we mentioned with BC or before Christ. But after the birth period of Christ we called it AD, Anno Domini. But nowadays BC has converted in BCE means before the common era, and AD has converted into CE means common era. If we are saying today's date, we put the CE with date. Hopefully, the time period of history is clear to you. And now the important topic, source material to study history. How we can take the knowledge of history, because people were not living presently of 1,000 years or more than 100 years of age. So how can we get the knowledge of that time? We have many sources. Mainly we divide these sources into two parts. First, archaeological source material. In this, we include inscriptions, coins, monuments, sculptures, paintings, skeletons. Second part, literary source material. In this, we consider religious literature, non-religious literature, secular literature, historical literature. We will study all these source material in the detail. First, we will study inscriptions. Some materials of the past are buried deep under the earth. They are either discovered by chance or by archaeologists dig certain places and find ancient inscriptions, coins, forts, or buildings. The study of these remains tell the archaeologists about the religious, social, and cultural conditions of their time. For example, building excavated from Mohenjo-daro provide useful information about the Indus Valley civilization. And inscriptions are the writings which are engraved on rocks, pillars, clay tablets, and the walls of the temples and caves. As you are looking on the screen, these are the engravings on the walls, and one is on the pillar, and these are the source material to study of that time. Inscriptions tells about the kings, their empires, achievements, as well as the society and the language of that period. For example, the inscriptions of Ashoka's period tells about the achievements of Ashoka. The inscriptions were put up in places where the common people could read them easily. The study of inscriptions is called epigraphy. Generally, in the olden time, inscriptions were placed on a social place where common people can see them and also read them. And the study of inscriptions is called epigraphy. Epigraphy is the study of inscriptions or epigraphy as writing. It is the science of identifying graphemes, clarifying their meanings, classifying their uses according to dates and cultural context, and drawing conclusions about the writing and writers. Means which whatever we are looking on the walls, on the caves or etc., that is telling the time period of that era. I hope all things are clear. If you face any problem, you can ask, and you must write down important facts on your notebook and put the emphasis on your learning. Thank you and have a nice day.